Now let's learn how to crochet the daisy. It consists of the daisy and the calyx. Let's start with the daisy. We will use a new stitch technique, which is the 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Please watch the demonstration before we start crocheting. Let's learn the proper posture for crocheting. For convenience in watching, I will demonstrate using cotton yarn in different colors. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. First, let's start with a magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap it twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands on your left index finger. Pinch the overlapping part of the loops with your right thumb and index finger. Take it out. Then wrap the yarn tail once around your left little finger. Insert the yarn between the middle finger and index finger. Transfer the loop to between your left middle finger and thumb. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand. Insert the hook into the loop. Position the hook to the left of the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise around the hook. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with a chain stitch to secure. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through the loop on your hook. 1 chain stitch is completed. Slightly tighten. Pay attention, the loop on the hook should not be too tight, otherwise, it will be difficult to crochet later. Like this, the magic ring is completed. Start the first round. Before working, you can cut a piece of yarn, about 15 centimeters long, and set it aside for later use. Then make a chain stitch as the turning chain for the single crochet. The turning chain for the single crochet does not count as a stitch. Then work a single crochet. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. There are 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over again, and draw through both loops on your hook. 1 single crochet is completed. At the top right of the single crochet, there is a V shape formed by 2 yarns. This V shape is the stitch of a single crochet. 1 stitch loop represents 1 stitch. Pay attention. When you finish the first single crochet, slightly enlarge the loop. Then take the yarn tail you cut earlier. And thread it through the stitch loop of the first stitch. This marks the position of the first stitch. After completing the first stitch, continue working single crochets. Insert your hook into the large space. Yarn over, draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, and draw through both loops on your hook. The second single crochet is now completed. For the first round, you need to work a total of 5 single crochets. Continue crocheting. 3 stitches, 4 stitches, 5 stitches. After that, close the magic ring. Move the completed section to the right. Pay attention, pinch closer to the edge. Don't pinch the inner loops, or it will be difficult to pull the yarn tail through. There are 2 loops here. First, gently pull the starting tail. You'll see 1 loop is still moving. Tighten this moving loop. There's one loop left. Then pull the yarn tail tight directly. Like this, the loops are now closed. Next, at the stitch of the first single crochet, which is where the yarn tail is located, make a slip stitch to join. Pay attention, this is the chain of the starting chain. Skip it and do not crochet. Insert the hook. Yarn over. And draw through all loops on the hook in one go. One slip stitch is completed. This V shape is the braid formed by the slip stitch. The slip stitch does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten it, otherwise, it's easy to crochet too many stitches. Everyone, look, the first round of the daisy is now complete. Continue with the second round. Start with a chain stitch as a starting chain. The starting chain for the single crochet does not count as a stitch. In the same insertion point, where you just made the slip stitch, work a single crochet. Place the starting yarn tail above the crochet hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. When completed, in the same first stitch, mark it for easy reference later to find the slip stitch position. This makes it convenient to locate the slip stitch position later. Next, in the same insertion point, work another single crochet. Don't forget to weave in the ends. This completes one single crochet 2 stitches together. You can see that a single crochet increase is made by working 2 single crochets in the same insertion point, which is equivalent to increasing 1 stitch. Continue with the adjacent stitch on the left side. Work another single crochet 2 stitches together, meaning in this stitch, work 2 single crochets. Don't forget to weave in the ends. 1, 2. The second single crochet 2 stitches together is now completed. The crochet pattern for this round involves working single crochet 2 stitches together evenly into the stitches from the previous round. Follow this pattern to complete the remaining single crochet 2 stitches together. After finishing the last single crochet 2 stitches together, bring this yarn tail to the front. Which is the side facing you? Then, in the first single crochet stitch, make a slip stitch to join. Insert the hook. And pull the yarn through all loops at once. Slightly tighten it. As you can see, the second round is now completed. The side where the starting yarn tail is located is the right side of the fabric. For each subsequent round when crocheting, keep the right side facing you. Additionally, after completing a round, you can check the stitch count. Count the stitches from the position of the yarn tail. There should be 10 stitches. Continue to crochet the third round. Refer to the pattern. Start with making one chain stitch. Then work a single crochet into the first stitch. If you can't tell where the first stitch is, continue to mark it like this. For the rest of this round, continue to work single crochets into each stitch from the previous round. After completing all stitches, join with a slip stitch as usual. Pay attention, since the next round requires a color change. Therefore, you need to break the yarn here. Then make a slip stitch to secure it. Pull up a large loop, leaving a tail of about 10 centimeters. Cut the yarn and pull tight. This essentially creates a secure knot. The yarn tail should follow the texture of the fabric. Hide the tail on the wrong side. You can also weave in all the ends at this point. This way, the third round is completed. Continue with the fourth round. First, join the corresponding color yarn. For convenience in watching the sample, the colors are random. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Slightly tighten the loop. Leave about 10 centimeters of yarn tail here. Then insert the hook into the front loop of the first single crochet stitch. That is, this strand of yarn. Draw the loop through. Make a chain stitch to secure. Tighten the yarn tail. The joining is now complete. Then refer to the pattern. Crochet 4 chain stitches. After completing, find the bar between the second chain from the hook. That is, this strand of yarn, in the middle of the wrong side. Make a slip stitch. Note, the solid dot in the oval shape on the chart indicates that the slip stitch should not be tightened. The solid dot in the circular shape indicates that the slip stitch needs to be tightened. This will not be repeated in subsequent instructions. Continue on the bars between the next 2 chains from the wrong side. Make a slip stitch in each. For convenience in explanation, we will refer to these 4 chains and 3 slip stitches as one petal. Next, at the same entry position, where you join the yarn, which is on the front loop of the first single crochet stitch, make a slip stitch. Then, work the second petal, which means crocheting 4 chains sequentially. Starting from the bar between the second chain from the hook, correspondingly make slip stitches into each chain. The second petal is completed. Next, on the front loop of the adjacent stitch on the left side, make a slip stitch. Then crochet one petal. Next, before crocheting each petal, start with a slip stitch. The slip stitches are always worked into the front loop, and each stitch corresponds to 2 petals. You can see that one petal has already been crocheted in this stitch, therefore, you need to crochet one more petal here. Everyone, follow this method. Continue crocheting. After completing the last stitch, you should have exactly 20 petals. Once all the petals are completed, join with a slip stitch in the same insertion point, where you joined the yarn. After joining, make one more chain stitch to secure it. Pull up the loop, and leave a tail of about 10 centimeters. Cut the yarn. Pull tight. And hide the tail on the wrong side. I won't demonstrate this part. You can now remove the marker thread used for the starting position. That's it. One daisy is completed. Next, follow the same method, and refer to the pattern instructions. Complete the remaining daisies. For the calyx, follow the chart to crochet. Note that for the third round, you need to crochet together with the wire. For the calyx, follow the chart to crochet. Once completed, it will look like this. Then align the 2 ends of the wire. Insert them into the center of the calyx. Thread the reserved yarn of the calyx into a sewing needle. Sew the calyx to the remaining half stitches of the third round of the daisy. Take the yarn in the calyx color. Wrap it around the wire for 6 to 9 centimeters. Secure and break the yarn at the end. Follow this method to complete the remaining daisies. Once done, take 5 daisies to form one large daisy. Also wrap the remaining wire with yarn. That's how you make a large daisy. Complete the rest of the daisies as well. Next, let's make the rose. The rose branch includes leaves, calyx, flowers, and assembly. First, complete the crochet work for each part, and then assemble them at the end. Start by crocheting the leaves. We will start from the foundation chain, and crochet in rounds counterclockwise. During this process, you need to wrap in the thin wire. The new stitch techniques used include treble crochet 2 stitches together. Please watch the demonstration. Before we start crocheting, let's learn the proper posture for crocheting. To make it easier for everyone to see clearly, I will use thicker yarn for this demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn details, color schemes, and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Cut a piece of thin wire about 30 centimeters long, and set it aside for later use. Begin with a foundation chain. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand, wrap it around your left little finger. Thread it through between your middle finger and index finger. Then pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Pick up the crochet hook with your right hand, and move the hook between these 2 points. Place the hook underneath the yarn. Wrap the yarn counterclockwise. Use your left thumb and middle finger to pinch the crossing point of the loop. Place the hook on the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This slip knot does not count as a stitch. Slightly tighten. Adjust the size of the loop. Now, start crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. 1 chain stitch is completed. This braid represents 1 stitch. Continue crocheting chain stitches. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. This is the 2nd stitch. Repeat this process. Continue to finish the remaining chain stitches. 3, 4, this way, the beginning chain is completed. Next, let's crochet the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then, in the second to last stitch of the beginning chain, insert your hook into the top half loop, and make 1 single crochet. That is, the second to last braid from the end. Insert the hook. Place the prepared thin wire above the crochet hook. And weave in the ends as you go along. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through the 2 loops on the hook. 1 single crochet is completed. We can see a V-shaped stitch on the right side. This is the stitch of a single crochet. Next, on the chain stitch on the left side, pick up the back loop and make a single crochet. Insert the hook. Mindful to wrap the thin wire. Yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Then yarn over again, and draw through all loops on the hook. Another single crochet is completed. Move down, continue to pick up the back loops of the chain stitches on the left side, and make single crochets in sequence. Keep working until there is only 1 chain stitch position left. Reach the designated position. Now, there is only 1 chain stitch remaining. Make 3 single crochets in this last chain stitch. Then rotate the piece. You can see that, on this side, there are 2 strands of yarn left at the chain stitch position. Work down these 2 strands by picking them up, and crocheting, that is, at the same insertion point, as the single crochets on this side. Slightly adjust the wire to make the lengths of both ends roughly the same. Then work single crochets correspondingly. Be mindful not to insert into the same insertion point as the top 3 single crochets. When working on this side, you need to wrap the wire and the starting yarn tail simultaneously. Make 2 single crochets in the last chain stitch position. Then join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Insert. Yarn over. And draw the yarn through. And pull through all loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. This is the chain formed by the slip stitch. The joining slip stitch does not count as a stitch, it needs to be tightened. Like this. The first round is completed. Then move on to crochet the second round. Work 2 chains. Then in the second stitch of the previous round, make 1 half double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, and draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. A half double crochet is complete. Then make 1 ch1 picot. First, work 1 chain. Next, pick up the strand closest to you from the half double crochet stitch and the strand on the left. Make 1 slip stitch. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Pull through all the loops on the hook. Slip stitch completed. This is a ch1 picot. We will refer to it simply as a picot from now on. Next, work 1 double crochet in the next stitch on the left. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over again, and draw the yarn through. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over once more. Draw through the first 2 loops. There are 2 loops remaining. Yarn over again, and draw through once. 1 double crochet is done. Then make a picot. Start with 1 chain stitch. Pick up the strand closest to you and the strand on the left. Make 1 slip stitch. The picot is now complete. Then hook 1 treble crochet into the left stitch. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there are 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over again. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. 1 more time. 2 times. 3 times. A treble crochet is complete. Then hook 1 picot stitch. The next stitch is a treble crochet 2 stitches together. First, make 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over the hook twice, insert into the same stitch below. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Then yarn over in sequence. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 2 times. This is an incomplete treble crochet. Then hook the second one. Yarn over the hook twice. Insert into the adjacent stitch. Yarn over. Pull the yarn through. Then yarn over in sequence. Draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 2 times. This is the second one. Then yarn over. Draw through all 3 loops on the hook. That completes the treble crochet decrease. Then make a picket stitch. Start with a chain stitch. Then hook into the front loop only, along with the 2 strands on the left. Make 1 slip stitch. Then make another treble crochet 2 stitches together. First, in the same stitch below, and in the adjacent stitch, work 1 incomplete treble crochet each. One. 2. Then yarn over. Draw through all loops on the hook. That completes the treble crochet 2 stitches together. Next, make a picket stitch. Below is a special cluster stitch. First, work an incomplete treble crochet in the adjacent stitch. Then work an incomplete double crochet in the left stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over again. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over once more. Pull through the first 2 loops. This is an incomplete double crochet. Then yarn over, and draw through all the loops on the hook once. The special cluster is now complete. Next, make a picket stitch. Then work a double crochet in the adjacent stitch. Make another picket stitch. Work a half double crochet in the left stitch. Yarn over. Insert the hook. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over again, and draw through all 3 loops on the hook. A half double crochet is complete. Then make a picket stitch. Work a single crochet in the adjacent stitch. Work a single crochet in the left stitch. Chain 1. Then work a double crochet in the same stitch. Make a picket stitch. Chain 1. Then work a single crochet in the same stitch below. Continue working down. Pay attention to this special cluster. Start with an incomplete double crochet. Then make an incomplete treble crochet. Continue to complete the remaining stitches. In the last stitch of the previous round, work a 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That is, work 2 single crochets in the same stitch. 1, 2. 2 single crochets into the same stitch completed. Then in the first stitch of the previous round, join with a slip stitch. Pull tight. Chain 1 to secure. Leave about 5 centimeters and cut the yarn. Pull out the yarn tail. Pull tight. One leaf is now completed. Everyone use this method to crochet the remaining leaves and set them aside. Next, we will crochet the calyx. Start with the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the starting point. Please watch the demonstration. First, make a magic ring. Pick up the yarn tail with your right hand. Wrap the yarn twice around your left index finger. Now there are 3 strands of yarn on your index finger. Use your right thumb and index finger to pinch where the loops overlap. Take it out. Then hold the yarn with your left hand. Insert the hook into the magic ring. Position the hook to the left side of the yarn. Yarn over. Draw the yarn through. Now there is 1 loop on the hook. Continue with 1 chain stitch to secure. Pull tight. Like this, the adjustable magic ring is now completed. Move on to the first round. Make 1 beginning chain. Then work 5 single crochets into the magic ring. After that, close the magic ring. There are 2 loops in total. First, gently pull the starting tail of the yarn. You can see that 1 loop is movable. Tighten this movable loop. 1 loop remains. Directly tighten the tail. This way, the loop is secured. Next, finish with a slip stitch in the first single crochet stitch of this round. Tighten it. Like this. The first round is now completed. Next, move on to the second round. Make 1 beginning chain. For this round, insert into the stitches from the previous round. Work 1 single crochet in each stitch. Everyone complete this round. Pay attention to securing the yarn tail. After completing it, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Tighten it. The second round is now complete. Next, we'll work on the third round. Make one beginning chain. Then, in the first stitch of the previous round, make a 2 single crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, 2 single crochets into the same stitch completed. Continue inserting into the stitches from the previous round, and work 2 single crochets into the same stitch sequentially. Complete this round. After completing the last stitch, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. This way, the third round is now complete. Next, let's work on the fourth round. Make one beginning chain. Then, work 1 single crochet. Next, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch to the left. For this round, it will be 1 single crochet. Continue working in the sequence of 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase. Refer to the chart to complete this round. After completing it, join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet stitch. Pull tight. This way, the fourth round is now complete. The clearer texture side is the right side. When crocheting, keep the right side facing you. For the following 5th and 6th rounds, pick up the stitches from the previous round, 1 stitch corresponding to 1 single crochet. Everyone complete these 2 rounds. When crocheting, don't forget to start with a beginning chain, and join in round with a slip stitch. Look. This is what it looks like after completing the 6th round. Next, work on the 7th round. Start by making 8 chain stitches. Then pick up the half loop on the left side of the second chain from the hook, and make 1 slip stitch. Next, in the half loop on the left side of the adjacent chain, make another slip stitch. Note that these 2 slip stitches should not be tightened. Then, on the remaining 5 chains, work 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 3 double crochets in sequence. After completing this, skip the next 2 stitches. In the 3rd stitch on the left side, which is the 4th stitch of the previous round, make 1 slip stitch. Continue with the identical stitch pattern on the right side. Start with 8 chain stitches. Then from the second chain from the hook, work 2 slip stitches in sequence. 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 3 double crochets. After completing this section, skip 2 stitches, and make 1 slip stitch in the 3rd stitch on the left side. Follow the demonstration here, and refer to the chart to complete the remaining part of this round. Finally, in the 1st stitch of the previous round, make 1 slip stitch. Then chain 1 to secure. Leave a tail of about 20 centimeters and cut the yarn. That's it. 1 calyx is now completed. Next, we will crochet the flowers. We will start from the foundation chain, and work back and forth along the starting chain. Then, crochet each petal separately. After completing, roll it up, and sew it into the shape of a flower. Note that there are no color changes between the first row and the second row. Change colors when transitioning from small petals to medium petals. Also, change colors when transitioning from medium petals to large petals. The new stitch techniques used include double crochet increase and DC 3-in-1. Next, I'll demonstrate the crocheting method with a solid color. Remember to change colors where needed. Start by making 16 chain stitches. After completing the starting chain, work the first row, make 3 chains to start, which count as 1 double crochet. This corresponds to the last chain of the starting chain. Then, make a chain stitch for transition. Next, work into the second to last stitch of the starting chain. That is, the 6th chain from the end here. Work 1 double crochet. Then make 1 chain stitch for transition. Next, work 1 double crochet into the chain on the left side. This row involves working double crochets into the starting chain stitches. Work double crochets sequentially. Make 1 chain stitch for transition between each double crochet. Follow this pattern. Continue to finish the remaining part of this row. That's how you do it. The first row is now complete. Next, let's work the second row. Start with 3 chains as a beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. These 3 chains count as 1 double crochet. This corresponds to the last double crochet of the previous row. Then make 7 chain stitches for transition. Next, work 1 double crochet into the second to last stitch of the previous row. Work 1 double crochet into the second to last stitch of the previous row. Since this row is crocheted on the wrong side, the stitch corresponds to the braid above the double crochet on the left. That is, these 2 strands of yarn. Then make 7 chain stitches for transition. Next, work 1 double crochet into the adjacent stitch. Then make 7 more chain stitches for transition. Continue working double crochets into the stitches of the previous row. Between each double crochet, you need to make chain stitches for transition. This forms chain spaces like these. For the first 6 chain spaces, make 7 chain stitches each. For the 7th to 10th chain spaces, make 5 chain stitches each. For the last 5 chain spaces, make 3 chain stitches each. The last double crochet is worked into the 3rd braid of the beginning chain. That is, the 2nd braid on the right side of this stitch. Pick up these 2 strands of yarn. After completing it, make 3 more chain stitches. Then, turn the piece counterclockwise. Next, in the 2nd to last stitch from here, make 1 slip stitch. Look. This is what it looks like after completing the 2nd row. Start working the first small petal. Begin with 3 chain stitches. Then, from the 2nd to last chain stitch, pick up the left side of the half stitch, and make 2 slip stitches. Then, rotate the piece counterclockwise. Keep the hook stationary. The yarn tail should be below the fabric. After rotating, it will look like this. Next, start the first row of the small petal. Make 1 beginning chain. Then, insert the hook into the same entry position as the 2nd slip stitch you made earlier. That is, these 2 strands of yarn. Work 1 single crochet. Then, in the same entry position as the slip stitch above, work 3 single crochets. Next, insert the hook into the same entry position as this slip stitch. Work 1 single crochet. This way, the first row is completed. It consists of 5 single crochets in total. Now, let's work on the second row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise. Then, insert the hook into the last stitch of the previous row. Work 1 single crochet. Next, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch to the left. Continue by working 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and 1 more single crochet. This way, the second row is completed. Now, continue with the third row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise, then work 2 single crochets into the same stitch, and 1 single crochet, repeating this sequence. The third row is now completed. Next, move on to the fourth row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn the workpiece counterclockwise, then work 2 single crochets in sequence. 2 half double crochets. And 1 double crochet. After completing these stitches, the next stitch is a DC 3-in-1, which means working 3 double crochets into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. The DC 3-in-1 is now completed. Next, work 1 double crochet, 2 half double crochets, and 2 single crochets in sequence. After completing the last single crochet, turn the workpiece. Enlarge the loop on the crochet hook. This prevents the loop from slipping off. Then insert the hook into the last double crochet stitch of row 2. Next, insert it into the loop that was left. Draw the loop through. Now, row 4 is completed. Continue with row 5. Work 1 slip stitch into the last stitch of the previous row. Then work 1 single crochet and 1 half double crochet. After completing, check the stitches. Each stitch looks like 2 loops of yarn. The loop closer to you is the front loop. The loop farther from you is the back loop. Next, pick up the back loop of the left stitch and work 1 half double crochet and 1 double crochet. Then pick up the back loops of the next 5 left stitches and work double crochet increase, that is, work 2 double crochets in the same stitch. After completing, pick up the back loop of the left stitch and work 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. Next, pick up the remaining 3 stitches and work 1/2 double crochet, 1 single crochet, and 1 slip stitch. Then, pick up the 3rd stitch of row 2 and make 1 slip stitch. Row 5 is now completed. Everyone, take a look. This is what a small petal looks like when it's done. Now let's work on the second small petal. First, work 3 chains. Then, starting from the second chain from the hook, work 2 slip stitches. Next, rotate the fabric. Pay attention that the yarn tail should be underneath the fabric. Then start working row 1. Row 1 is now completed. Continue following the chart. Work all the way to the last single crochet of row 4. Once completed, turn the work piece and stretch it out. Release the loop on the hook. Then insert the hook from right to left into the slip stitch at the starting point of the previous petal. This is where you begin your new chain. Then draw through the released loop. Continue working on row 5. Pay attention to the stitches in the middle, which are worked into the back loops only. Finally, pick up the next double crochet stitch. Make 1 slip stitch. This way, you have completed the second small petal. There are 4 small petals in total. Everyone follow the demonstration for the second small petal. Complete the remaining 2 small petals. Next, we will work on the medium petals. There are 7 rows in total. Note that after completing the first 6 rows of the medium petal, connect it to the starting point of the previous petal. That is, for each petal. Before working the last row, connect it to the previous petal. Everyone finish the first 6 rows first. Now, work on row 7. Work all the way to the stitch on the right side of the previous row's DC 3 and 1. Reach the corresponding position. In the middle stitch of this DC 3-in-1, first work 2 double crochets. Then work 1 picket stitch. Followed by another double crochet in the same stitch. Continue to complete the remaining stitches. This way. One medium petal is completed. There are a total of 4 medium petals. Everyone complete the remaining 3. Next, work on the first large petal. Similarly, first complete the first 6 rows. Continue with the 7th row. First, work the second DC 3-in-1. Then work 1 picket stitch. Continue to complete the remaining stitches. Look. This is what a completed large petal looks like. There are a total of 6 large petals. Everyone continue to complete the remaining 5. For the last slip stitch, pick up the 3rd chain from the beginning chain and crochet. Then work 1 chain to secure. Leave about 25 centimeters and cut the yarn. Next, sew the rose motif pieces together. Thread the darning needle with the reserved yarn tail. Then align each petal's last row right side facing you. Adjust the shape of the petals. Then turn the workpiece over. Start rolling from the small petals to the right. Align the beginning chain stitches roughly. Pay attention that after rolling, each petal's last row should have the right side facing out. Then secure the bottom of the fabric piece. First, connect it slightly with the adjacent petals. Then pass the yarn tail underneath. Sew back and forth a few times to secure. After completing the sewing, pass the yarn tail next to the starting chain yarn tail. Tie 2 knots to secure. Trim off the excess tail. This way, the flower is completed. Next, proceed with assembly. First, take out the flower stem and calyx. Insert the flower stem through the center of the calyx. You can use a crochet hook to widen the center a bit first. Then take out the flower. Insert the flower stem from the bottom. Make sure the stem doesn't show above. Then insert the sewing needle through the reserved yarn tail of the calyx. Sew the bottom of the flower to the calyx. After sewing securely, tie off and weave in the ends neatly. Next, take out the yarn in the same color as the calyx. Wrap around the base of the calyx along the flower stem. Apply a little glue at the beginning. Wrap for about 3-4 centimeters after. Take out a leaf. Wrap it together with the yarn. Continue wrapping for another 3-4 centimeters or so, then add the second leaf. Continue wrapping downwards. Cut off the yarn. Make sure to glue the end of the thread securely so it doesn't unravel. This way, the rose branch assembly is completed. Next, proceed with the overall assembly. First, take out the flower basket and the floral foam. Trim the floral foam to match the shape of the flower basket. This will allow the floral foam to fit snugly inside the basket. Once completed, take out the prepared flower branches. Arrange the flower branches according to your preference. Next, take out the bees. Sew them onto your favorite flowers. There are no specific requirements for the sewing method, just make sure they are sewn on securely. Up to this point, we have covered the entire product. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.